In today's video, I'm going to talk about the most dangerous tennis court surface to play on. Oh man! Ah, that hurts. Jeez, these hard courts, they're rock hard. This is so hard for the body, right? Actually, no. The by far most dangerous tennis court surface to play on is clay. This stuff is so dangerous, I better stay far away from these courts. So I'm going to be slipping, falling, I'm going to be tripping over lines and hurting myself badly. So yeah, this stuff is way too dangerous. I got to get out of here. The big advantage of hard courts when it comes to movement is that our footing is secured. We have a lot better grip on hard courts, so there's no danger to slip. Of course, if it's wet, like this puddle back here, that's dangerous. So this is something that you have to avoid on hard court, is when it's wet. But when it's dry, it is by far a more secure way to place your feet. There's no danger of slipping. There's also no danger of tripping on a line or tripping on a nail. It is therefore far less common on a hard court that players will roll their ankle or trip and then pull a muscle or hurt themselves even worse. Now, of course, hard courts might be tougher on the body when it comes to long-term wear and tear. It's a much harder surface compared to clay. So long-term wear and tear, this is where clay courts might have an advantage. But when it comes to injuries that happen on the court, whether it be slipping or stepping on an uneven spot on the court and rolling your ankle and falling, clay is by far most dangerous for those things compared to a hard court. Personally, I never injured myself on a hard court. All the injuries that I sustained through my playing career happened on a clay court. Most of the time, I would pull muscles. I had a big problem with pulling muscles on clay because I slide on clay, and often, for whatever the reason may be, I would pull either a groin muscle or a hamstring. Also often on an uneven part of the clay court, since I'm a little bit uncoordinated, I would often fall on the clay court and hurt myself that way. Thankfully, I've never rolled my ankle either on a hard court or a clay court. And while my injury story might be anecdotal, I've been able to observe the vast majority of injuries at the recreational level that happen on clay courts where very similar things take place. And guys, I was obviously kidding in the beginning of the video. You're not gonna break your bones if you play on hard court. You're not gonna destroy your body if you play on clay. Both of these surfaces are safe to play on. However, it is undeniably true that the clay courts are more dangerous than hard courts when it comes to slipping, stepping over lines. If the court is uneven, you can roll your ankle. And this is undeniably true. The vast majority of injuries at the pro level and at the recreational level do occur on clay courts. So I don't want to discourage anyone from playing on clay with this video. Personally, I love clay. I actually play really well on clay. I had some of the best results of my career on the slow clay courts in Germany. So by no means am I saying that playing on clay is bad, but I'm going to give you some tips how you can avoid hurting yourself when you do play on clay. So first of all, you want to be really fit, but also you want to work on your agility and your balance. If you're naturally a little bit uncoordinated like I am, you're going to run into some problems on clay. You're going to be more frequently falling and slipping. So it's really important that when you do play on clay to definitely work on your agility and balance. It also helps to have really strong legs. If you look at any of the best clay court players in the history, you can see that they're very fast players and have very strong legs and a good foundation. Now, another thing that's important, that is something that's quite frequent in the United States, is that the clay court is not kept up properly. It's going to be more dangerous to play on it. Here in Europe, you have a beautiful clay court, and every person that plays on a clay court in Europe sweeps it afterwards. For some reason, in the United States, on hard true, people do not sweep the court after they're done playing, and of course the court is going to have a lot of holes as a result of that, and that is dangerous to play on. So an easy way to avoid injuries on clay is to make sure that the court is in good condition. Also, make sure the lines are not sticking up. Make sure there's no nails sticking out of the lines. The lines should be very even with the surface, because obviously if the line is sticking up, you can catch your foot on it and hurt yourself pretty badly. So to be safe on clay, make sure that you're playing on a clay court that's properly maintained. Aj spusti ruku, odmori se još jedan i smo gotovi. Now, a lot of you guys want me to make a video on how to slide on clay, and there's a reason why I haven't made this video, because when I teach people on hard through in the United States, I do not teach them to slide for safety reasons. It's not safe to slide on a hard shoe. Therefore, I don't want to make a video that can be dangerous for you guys. It's not absolutely necessary to slide on hard shoe. Now, of course, if you are more of a high level player, yes, if you slide on hard shoe, you get big advantages when it comes to your clay court performance. And of course, on the red clay here in Europe, you do have to slide as well, or you're going to have some problems with movement. However, when it comes to the recreational level players that play on hard shoe, I do not recommend sliding because it is dangerous enough to play on a clay court. And now if you start sliding on it, you increase your risk of injury even more. Therefore, if you want to be safe on a clay court, you got to do all the things that I mentioned in this video. And on top of that, I recommend that you don't slide.